Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive.
It's great to be back.
We love to get into the nitty-gritty of some really interesting businesses, and today,
Yeah, we've got a good one today.
today we're diving deep into the story of Florida Best 24/7 Emergency Plumbing LLC.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, and the individual behind it, Arthuro Ocanto.
That's right.
So we really want to understand in this deep dive what makes this family-owned plumbing company stand out,
Yeah?
especially in Florida. I mean, it's a pretty competitive market.
Oh, absolutely it is.
And just also, what are the principles that are driving this success? Providing these essential services
Exactly.
and, just how are they building that trust and reputation?
Yeah, and you had shared an interest in understanding just that.
Right.
How do businesses, particularly in this kind of industry, build trust, deliver these services reliably?
Right.
I think looking at Florida Best Plumbing is going to give us some really interesting insights into exactly that. So all of the information that we're going to be talking about today comes from a really detailed overview of Arthuro Ocanto
Okay.
and Florida Best 24/7 Emergency Plumbing LLC.
Oh, okay, let's jump right in.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like this guy, Arthur Ocanto, he didn't just, fall into the plumbing business.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got, from what I've read, I mean, he's got a real entrepreneurial spirit.
absolutely. And what's so interesting is he saw a need in Florida specifically
Yeah.
for a plumbing service that was really reliable.
Mm-hmm.
He recognized the disruption and the stress that unreliable plumbing can cause in people's lives.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just about, fixing the pipe. It's about
Right.
understanding the impact that has.
Yeah, it's that moment when the small leak becomes the huge problem.
Exactly.
Or, the pipe bursts and suddenly your days,
Your whole week is ruined.
yeah, just gone.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Arthuro's vision from the beginning was to create this company that would not only just fix those issues, but really do it well and provide that peace of mind that everything's been taken care of.
Absolutely. It's about, getting to the root of the problem, making sure it doesn't happen again.
Right.
And that's really, I think, where Florida Best Plumbing LLC, kind of the name itself speaks to that.
Okay.
This idea of being the best, not just being a plumbing company, but being the best.
Now, the source material talks a lot about the company's core values
Yes.
and their culture, and it seems like it's not just about the nuts and bolts of plumbing.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It really is a family affair, and they really emphasize that family-first approach.
Okay.
And that permeates through the entire company culture.
Okay.
It's about respect. It's about transparency.
Yeah.
It's about this real dedication to their customers.
Which, when you're in that moment of crisis needing an emergency plumber, you're not really thinking about that. You're just like, please answer the phone.
I know, right? You're just like, somebody help me.
Yeah. But it sounds like they really go above and beyond to make their customers feel like they are genuinely being taken care of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are a customer-centric company.
Okay.
And it's not just about the transaction of, okay, we fixed your pipe, here's the bill.
Right.
It's about building a relationship with their customers,
Got it.
understanding, the anxiety, the inconvenience that goes along with these plumbing problems.
Yeah.
And that empathy really shines through.
Now, that must tie into their commitment to using high-quality materials.
Oh, for sure.
It's not just about getting, the cheapest thing in there and getting it done.
Yeah, they're not looking for a quick fix.
Right.
They want to provide lasting solutions.
And they want to do it right the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Arthur really understands that using those high-quality materials will prevent those problems from recurring
Okay.
and ultimately save the customer money and a lot of headaches down the road.
Now, of course, we have to talk about the 24/7 emergency service.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, right?
It's huge.
It's not like you can schedule a plumbing emergency.
Never. It always happens at the
Yeah,
worst
but
time.
At the worst time.
So-
So,
Yeah, like in the middle of the night or when you're about to host a big party.
exactly.
So they're there for those burst pipes, those overflowing toilets,
Uh-huh.
those major leaks, anything that just can't wait.
Right. And when you're in that moment, you need somebody there fast.
You need them now.
Yes, you need them now.
So that prompt and efficient response is really key,
Absolutely.
not only for fixing the problem, but also for building trust with the customer.
Right.
Because you're in a vulnerable position, you need someone you can rely on.
For sure.
Yeah.
So beyond just those emergency situations,
Mhm.
they offer a whole suite of plumbing services.
Oh, yeah, they do. They really position themselves as that one-stop shop.
Right.
For all your plumbing needs, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, they've got you covered.
And they do everything, it seems.
It seems like it.
From those emergency repairs, we talked about,
Yeah.
to these like full-on repipe
That's
services.
a big one.
Yeah. So break down for me what is a repipe service.
So repiping is basically replacing all or a significant portion of the pipes in a home or a building.
Okay.
And often this is done in older homes
Got it.
where the pipes have corroded or they're just not up to modern standards anymore.
Interesting.
And this can help prevent leaks, improve water pressure.
So if you've got like, low water pressure,
If you're noticing your water pressure is not what it used to be,
right?
that could be a sign that you need repiping.
Okay. So they do drain cleaning.
Oh, yeah, drain cleaning is a big one.
Yeah.
Everyone's dealt with a clogged sink or a slow drain at some point.
Right.
And they handle everything from simple clogs to more complicated sewer line issues,
Okay.
like root intrusion, which can be a nightmare.
Yeah, those tree roots. I mean, that can
Oh, they can cause so much damage.
really bad.
Yeah, they can crack pipes. They can block the flow of water. It's a mess.
Wow. So they do the drain cleaning. They do toilet and sink repairs,
Mm.
The leaks, the clogs, putting in new fixtures.
Yeah, anything from fixing a leaky faucet to installing a brand new toilet.
And faucet repair and replacement, that's another big one.
It is. And,
Right.
a lot of people don't think about it, but a dripping faucet
Yeah.
can waste a ton of water.
And money.
And money, exactly.
Yeah, your water bill goes way up.
Yeah, those little drips add up over time.
Yeah, and it can also be, just really annoying.
Absolutely, that constant drip, drip, drip.
Drives you crazy.
It can keep you up at night.
Yeah. All right, so they handle that. They do bathtub and shower replacement.
Yes, for
Wow.
those who want to upgrade their bathroom, or if you've got an old damaged tub or shower,
Right.
they can take care of that.
Okay. And this one's interesting, leak detection and repair.
Yeah.
They use all kinds of high-tech tools, I guess, to...
They do. They use advanced technology to find those hidden leaks,
Wow.
which can be really tricky.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the leak is not obvious. It's not like a big gushing pipe.
Right.
It could be a slow leak behind the wall or under the floor.
And that's where the real damage can happen.
Exactly. And that's why leak detection is so important.
Okay.
Because if you catch those leaks early,
Yeah.
you can prevent a lot of damage and save yourself a lot of money in the long run.
So they do garbage disposal repair.
Mm-hmm.
That's another essential for a lot of people.
It is. It's one of those things you don't realize how much you rely on it
Right.
until it breaks.
And then it's like, oh no, what do I do with all this?
Right.
All right, so they do that. They do sewer line repair, which is a big one.
That's a big one. Sewer lines are like the arteries of your plumbing system.
Okay.
And if they get blocked or damaged, it can cause major problems.
Yeah,
Backups, sewage spills. It's not pretty.
not at all.
So they handle all sorts of sewer line issues,
Mm.
from root intrusion to blockages to pipe collapses.
Wow.
They can even do trenchless sewer line repair, which is a less invasive method
Interesting.
that doesn't require digging up your whole yard.
That's good because they just resodded.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's a big advantage.
So they do the sewer line repair. They do water heater services. Both traditional tank-style water heaters and the tankless ones.
Yes, they install, repair, maintain both types of water heaters.
Okay.
So whether you have an old tank water heater that needs replacing,
Right.
or you're interested in upgrading to a more energy-efficient tankless model,
Okay.
they can help you out.
Interesting. And then this last one, backflow testing and certification.
Yes.
This is one I don't know a lot about.
So backflow prevention is basically a system that prevents contaminated water from flowing back into your clean water supply.
Okay.
So it's a safety measure to protect the health of you and your family.
That's very important.
It is. And they offer backflow testing and certification services
Okay.
to make sure those backflow prevention devices are working properly.
Wow. So they really do it all.
They really do.
Yeah.
It seems like they've got all the bases covered.
Okay. So with all those services, what is it that really sets them apart? What's the Florida best plumbing difference?
I think it comes down to a few key things.
Okay.
First and foremost, their 100% satisfaction guarantee.
That's huge.
It is, they're so confident in the quality of their work
Yeah.
that they're willing to stand behind it completely.
Wow.
And that gives customers a lot of peace of mind knowing that if they're not happy,
Right.
Florida Best Plumbing will make it right.
They'll fix it. Exactly.
Okay, so 100% satisfaction guarantee, that's a big one.
That's a big one. The second thing is they only use licensed and insured professionals
Oh, God.
who undergo rigorous training.
Okay.
So you know that the people working on your plumbing are qualified and experienced.
That's good peace of mind.
Absolutely. And they also prioritize safety.
Okay.
They want to make sure that their technicians are working safely
Right.
and that your home or business is protected.
So licensed and insured.
Big one. Big one. Another thing that sets them apart is their transparent pricing.
Okay.
They have no hidden fees,
Wow.
no travel charges.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're going to pay up front.
That's good. No surprises.
No surprises, exactly. And that's really important in an emergency situation.
Right, because you're already stressed. You're already stressed. You don't need the added stress of worrying about how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, they also pride themselves on their local expertise.
Yeah.
They understand the unique plumbing challenges in Florida.
Interesting.
You know, the climate, the soil conditions, the water quality.
Right.
And that allows them to provide tailored solutions for their customers.
Now, their service area isn't just limited to one little town.
No, they've expanded beyond Winter Garden.
Okay.
They also serve Ocoee and Oakland.
Okay. All in Orange County, Florida.
That's right.
So they're growing.
They are growing. And Arthuro's goal is to continue expanding their reach,
Wow.
but while maintaining that commitment to personal service.
Okay, so what's next for them? What's the future look like?
Well, they're definitely focused on growth, but they also want to stay ahead of the curve
Okay.
in terms of technology and sustainability.
Okay.
So they're investing in advanced plumbing technologies,
Interesting.
exploring eco-friendly solutions, and they're also committed to ongoing team training
Okay.
to make sure their technicians are always up to date on the latest techniques and best practices.
So really focused on that continuous improvement?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're not content to just rest on their laurels.
Right.
They want to keep getting better.
So what about legacy?
Mhm.
What kind of mark are they looking to leave?
Well, they're definitely building a strong reputation
Yeah.
based on customer satisfaction,
Right.
quality, workmanship, and reliability.
Hmm.
And Arthuro's leadership, his hands-on approach,
Right.
is really driving that success.
So they're becoming that trusted choice for plumbing in their communities.
Exactly. They're the ones you call when you have a problem.
Right.
And you know they're going to do the job right.
So as we wrap up here,
Mm.
what are the big takeaways, for our listeners? What should they be thinking about after hearing this story?
I think Arthuro Ocanto's story really highlights the importance of having a clear vision,
Okay.
strong values, and a genuine commitment to customer well-being. It's not just about being good at what you do.
Right.
It's about building relationships with your customers
Right.
and creating a company culture that prioritizes their needs.
And it sounds like their emphasis on quality, transparency, comprehensive service is really central to their reputation.
Absolutely. And it's a great example of how a service-based business can succeed
Okay.
by focusing on those key principles.
So hopefully this deep dive gave our listeners some valuable insights into how a company can prioritize reliability and customer satisfaction
I hope so.
in such a crucial industry.
It's an essential service.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about, we've talked about plumbing, but
Yeah.
what other industries could benefit from a similar approach?
Right. Like what other traditionally unseen service industries
Right.
could really improve the customer experience by adopting some of these principles?
Food for thought.
Food for thought.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure being here.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.